Hari Om. Before we begin, I request all of you to switch off your mobiles or put them on silent mode, please. Thank you. On behalf of Chinmaya Mission Kolkata and Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad, I welcome you all to this session on the Ramayana. Special gratitude to Professor Gauri Mahulikar for agreeing to travel all the way from CIF, Velianad, to shower her blessings on us through this talk. We begin by lighting of the lamp. For this, I now invite Ma'am Gauri Mahulikar ji. Please come on stage. Brahmacharya Divakar ji, our spiritual head, Chinmaya Mission Kolkata. Kalra ji, our esteemed study group chief Sevak. Ashish ji Jhunjhunwala from Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad. And Shri Vivek ji Dalmia from Chinmaya Mission Kolkata. Brahmachari ji, I request you to stay back for the Shanti part.
Sahana vavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Dyo Shanti Antariksha Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apa Shanti Roshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishve Deva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvaha Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredhi Om Shanti 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 Om Bhadram Karne Visrunayama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Makshabhirya Yatraha Sthirairangai Tuštuvagum Swastanuhihi Vyashemaddevahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhasravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Yaschandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha Chandebhyo Dramitaat Sambhabhuva Swamendra Medhaya Aspranato Amritasya Deva Bhavano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Om Shanti 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 Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. We are really very happy to organize such an august, such an esteemed event on behalf of Chinmaya Mission, Kolkata. And the speaker is none other than Dr. Gauri Amma, who was the first Vice Chancellor and Dean of our own Chinmaya Vishwavidyapit. He is one of the leading scholars in India right now. So we are really grateful to her, grateful to Chinmaya Mission also to have such a scholar with us. So I will not prolong, this is not my talk. So we will be really fortunate enough to have from her. So I won't waste more time to speak. So thank you very much. Hari Om.
I now request Bimla ji Podar from Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad to deliver the welcome speech.
जैसे नाम से विदित है भारतीय भाषा परिषद, तो यहाँ पर हम सभी भाषाओं को सम्मानित करते हैं, सबकी चर्चा करते हैं। और आज बहुत खुशी है कि हमारे बीच गौरी जी हैं। तो भारतीय भाषा परिषद और चिन्मय मिशन कोलकाता ने ये आयोजन किया और आप सब यहाँ पधारे। राम कथा के तो विभिन्न आयाम हैं और ये ऐसी कथा है जो चौपाल से लेकर साहित्यिक सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रमों में स्कॉलर्स के बीच, सबके बीच में कथा होती है। राम कथा की राजनीति, राम कथा की समाज नीति, राम कथा की पारिवारिकता, सब कुछ है। पर आज हम सुनेंगे स्त्रियों के संदर्भ में राम कथा को। इसके लिए गहन अध्ययन किया है गौरी जी मेहुलकर ने, जो ऑल द वे यहाँ आई हैं और हमारे बीच वो अपनी बात रखेंगी। हमारा परम सौभाग्य है कि हमको प्रेरणा भी मिलेगी और हमारा ज्ञान वर्धन होगा। दो पंक्तियाँ बोलती हूँ। राम कथा के विषय में गुप्त जी ने लिखी है, राम तुम्हारा चरित्र स्वयं ही काव्य है। राम तुम्हारा चरित्र स्वयं ही काव्य है, कोई कवि बन जाए सहज संभाव्य है, कोई कवि बन जाए सहज संभाव्य है। आइए अब हम सब करतल ध्वनि से गौरी जी का स्वागत करें और कार्यक्रम का आरंभ होगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, ma'am. It is now my pleasure to introduce our very renowned speaker, Dr. Gauri Mahulikar. Ma'am is the academic director of the Chinmay International Foundation, where she is conducting research, strategic planning, publication management, collaboration, networking, resource allocation, and so much more. Not only that, she is promoting and conducting conferences, webinars, and courses so that she can share her vast treasure trove of knowledge with seekers like all of us at the comfort of our homes and cities. Her lectures are widely available on YouTube and the OLA platform. She is fluent in many Indian languages. She is a distinguished scholar and authority in Sanskrit, Indology, and the IKS, the Indian Knowledge System. Not only that, she is a master of Vedanta, Vedic studies, and Nirukta, a rare subject indeed. Some of us may know that Nirukta is one of the 6 Vedangas, and it deals in the science of etymology. Ma'am has a doctorate in Vedic elements in Puranic mantras and rituals. She has decades of experience in teaching Sanskrit and mentoring numerous PhD students as head department of Sanskrit at University of Mumbai, where she served from 1990 to 2015. Her knowledge of the Sanskrit language and particularly the Kavyas is phenomenally deep, making her truly a rare scholar, and most fortunate are we who get a chance to hear her. Currently, she is teaching the great drama of Kalidasa, Shakuntala, through the CIF webinar course, and takes those fortunate to have joined to the sublime heights of Sanskrit poetry and beyond in the way only she can. She gives credit of everything she is to the study she's been part of, even her impeccable diction, pronunciation, and command over speech. She says it is all because of the Sanskrit language. In her talk about Sanskrit and IKS at the CIF during a recent camp, she described Sanskrit as Navya Klishta Nacha Katina. Sanskrit is uncomplicated and easy. Can you believe that? I remember her saying, Bina Sanskritam Neva Sanskriti. Without Sanskrit, there is no culture. In fact, she went ahead and said, without Sanskrit, we lose our Indianness. That's because Sanskrit is the key to our treasure trove of the Indian knowledge system. Gauri ma'am has been awarded many national and international awards. If I start talking about it, we'll not be able to hear her. And she has written many books and articles in multiple languages. So many awards, so many achievements, so many accolades, such immense scholarship, all makes her sound like someone very distant and unapproachable. But some of us have had the good fortune to have met her, heard her, spoken to her on a one-to-one level. We've even shared meals with her on our recent trip to Adi Shankaracharya's birthplace. There could be no one humbler or more approachable than Gauri ma'am, as you may experience this yourself today. Please join me in inviting Gauri ma'am on stage to give us a woman's perspective on the Ramayana. Ma'am, please. May I request Ashish Ji Jhunjhunwala from Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad on the stage to felicitate ma'am, please.
हरि ओम नमो नमः अद्य अत्र कोलकाता नगरे आगत्य चिन्मय मिशन कोलकाता तथैव भारतीय भाषा परिषद इत्यनयोः संयोगेन आयोजिते अस्मिन् कार्यक्रमे अहं सादरम् आहूता इति अहो मे सौभाग्यम् इति मन्ये। आदौ तावत् तत्र अधः सरस्वत्याः विग्रहः, तत्र सरस्वती मातुः विग्रहः मया दृष्टः, अतः आदौ तावत् सरस्वती वन्दनेन कार्यक्रमस्य आरम्भं करिष्ये। Because it's a Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad, I thought first let me speak in Sanskrit, the mother of all the Indian languages, and not only Indian, I was telling in the car, it has influenced English as well, right? So first Saraswati Vandana. Ya Devi Sita Pankaja Sanavara Seenaksha Malakara Veena Jhankriti Nashta Sarva Jadata Smera Prafullanana Ya Vakyartha Pada Pramana Vibhava Ya Sarva Bhashatmika Tam Vacham Adhidevatam Bhagavatim Vande Sada Bharatim. Thank you for your very kind words of introduction. They are really touching. They touched me. And thank you for the trust you have in me. I'm sure and I hope I won't betray your trust. Now talking about Ramayana, she already quoted, Ram tumhara naam swayam hi kavya hai, koi kavi ban jaye, sahaj sambhavya hai. And this is what has made the, so to say, illiterate women of India write Ramayana. So I will be taking into consideration, because it's a Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad, I was telling him, my first Ramayana which I am talking about from women's perspective is written by Kumara Mulla, a Telugu Kavayitri. Kumara Mulla. So Mulla Ramayana I will first take, and then little one or two references of Chandravati's Ramayana from Bangladesh, Bangla, and then Maharashtra, where I come from. So before that, just now we celebrated Deepavali, right? Deepavali is the homecoming of Sri Rama. This is also homecoming of Sri Rama through the women's literature. So let us just go through the women's literature. Before that, I thought I will pay my homage to Sri Rama as well. यहाँ का लाइट बंद कर रहा है। रोमांच मोद अश्रु विसर्गकारी भक्तौघ चित्त धृतिकृत जनानाम नैरुच्यकारी विषयेषु नित्यम Shri Rama Nama Tapo Bhavatapahari. Such a beautiful verse. Rama Nama is Bhavatapahari. Ramanama removes all your bhavatapa. How it is? Nairutyakari Vishayeshu. On all the things, the things around us, the carnal pleasures and all that, they are called Vishaya, the objective, the sensual pleasures. Nairutyakari. It will create a dispassion, distaste in your mind about the other things if you listen to Sri Rama's name. Nairutyakari Vishayeshu Nityam Bhaktauga Chitta Dhritikrit Jananam. And in the minds of the bhaktas, it just, their hearts melt at the name of Sri Rama, and that starts flowing, Bhaktauga Chitta Dhritikrit Jananam. And when it starts melting, the hearts melt, what happens? Either you get goosebumps, or tears, or moda, you become so happy. So romancha, moda, ashru, visargakari, Shri Rama Nama Tapo Bhavatapahari. Now along with Rama, it is Sita's coming back as well. The next verse is from Adbhuta Ramayana, which elaborately talks about Sita as Shakti. Sita Shakti, okay? And that eulogizes Sita as Allada Rupinim Siddhim Shivam Shivakarim Satim Namami Vishwa Jananim Ramachandreshta Vallabham Sitam Sarvanavadyangim Bhajami Satatam Hrida. Very simple verse. With this now, are there many Ramayanas, or this is normally we know of Valmiki Ramayana, and in the north we know Tulasi Ramayana, Goswami Tulsidas. But there are many Ramayanas written as well as oral. First let us see the Sanskrit Ramayanas, and they are Valmiki Ramayana number 1, Ananda Ramayana again by Valmiki, Adbhuta Ramayana by Valmiki, Adhyatma Ramayana in Brahmanda Purana, Vasishtha Ramayana in Yoga Vasishtha, Agastya Ramayana, Ramopakhyana in Mahabharata, and there are Ramakathas in so many Puranas. These are all Sanskrit Ramayanas. Come to the regional languages, Bhasha Parishad, right? Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad. Andhra Pradesh we have Shri Ranganatha Ramayana, then Mulla Ramayana, which I will be touching because it's women's perspective. I am not going to touch about Valmiki or Kamban or Krittivasa Ramayana or anybody else. No gents here. And here also in the auditorium, it is mostly Mahila. Okay. So Mulla Ramayana, then Tamil it is Kamba Ramayana, Kannada it is Pampa Ramayana, Torave Ramayana, Kumudendu Ramayana, which is a Jain version in the 13th century. Assam it is Haptakanda Ramayana, 14th century, Bengal, Krittivasa, Odisha, Dandi Ramayana or Jagamohana Ramayana, and Maharashtra it is Bhavartha Ramayana by Santa Eknath Maharaj of the 16th century. Goa it is Krishnadas Sharma, Awadh it is Ramacharit Manas, written by Goswami Tulsidas. Kerala it is Adhyatma Ramayana, Kilipattu by Tucchan Chettu Elutachan in 16th century. In fact, I have written an article on Ramayana traditions in Kerala. It has a very peculiar tradition. And in the Karkataka Masam, which comes in the beginning of the monsoon, the whole month is called Ramayana Masa. And every household and every temple there is a Parayana of Adhyatma Ramayana, Kilipattu Adhyatma Ramayana. Then Gujarat Ramalilano Pado, it is Premananda Swami. Then Urdu Persian, it is again Tarjumae Ramayana. Nepal, it is Bhanubhakta Ramayana. He was just mentioning about that. Then Buddhas, we have Dasharatha Jataka. Jaina, it is Trishashti Shalaka Purusha. And in that, there is amongst the 63 Shalaka Purusha, Sri Ramachandra is one of those. And Paumacharyu, that is Padmacharita. Then Govinda Ramayana by Guru Gobind Singh in Samvat 1655. And he says that Rama is Atma, Sita is Buddhi, Lakshmana is mind, the Manas, and Ravana is the Ahankara. Okay, so this is a very spiritually studied Ramayana. So these are all the various Ramayanas in Sanskrit and in regional languages. Now with this from general to particular, we are going to Molla Ramayana. She was born in 1440, so 15th century, lived a long life of 90 years and passed away only in 1530, so 15th and 16th century. She is born of a potter's. She is a potter's daughter. Atukeri Kesana Setti is his name. Atukeri Kesana Setti, and he was a potter. Now just imagine 15th, 16th century India, a potter's daughter. What type of education she might have got? She went to school, of course, there are references. She went to school. But then what about Sanskrit language and Sanskrit literature? Did she have any opportunity to learn all that Sanskrit? But then with the potters, in the potter's house, so many people would come to buy the pottery because everything was stored, the grains, till the milk and the curds and everything was stored in earthen pots those times, right? And therefore earthen pots were much in demand. So people used to come and she used to listen to their talks, and that is how she improvised on her language. I'll read some of the Telugu passages. Are there any Telugu people here? Yes, yes. So you will have to excuse me for my pronunciation of Telugu. Though I know Kannada so well, I am not conversant with Telugu. But then see, the language is so Sanskritized. It is not like a rustic women. Later on I will be speaking about the Maharashtra's folk songs as well. And their language is very, very simple, unornamented, unembellished and all that. Contrary to that, Molla writes in a highly ornamental, Sanskritized Telugu language. And she is so fond of Telugu, like Bhasha Abhimana. And she says that everybody in the Telangana Pranta, in the Telugu Nadu, everybody should know the Telugu language. If we don't know your mother tongue, it is as good as forgetting your own mother who gave birth to you. And therefore she is very, very confident and very proud of her mother tongue. She lived near Nellore, Andhra Pradesh, and she was a devotee of Shiva Mallikarjuna, Sri Shaila, and she was an admirer of Rama. She was named Molla. Molla is the flower of jasmine, Mallige. In Kannada, we call it Mallige. In Tamil, Telugu, and Malayalam also, Molla is Mullappu, that is Malligehu, so jasmine flower. So she was a gifted soul perhaps, because how could she have learned all that nuances of language to embellish her Telugu scripture? So it must be a person who is gifted, who came as in a human flesh. She has written the Ramayana, but there is no Uttarakanda. There is no Uttarakanda. She may have her own reasons for that. So what is the structure of Ramayana? It's totally 742 verses, but some prose passages are embedded in between. It's not only versical, there are prose passages as well. And she starts with an introduction called Avataranika. Avataranika is something which comes in the beginning. Avatara, descent. So while descending on this Ramayana story, first she writes an introduction or a prolegamenon, and that she calls Avataranika. And Avataranika has 24 verses, and it is mainly salutations to gods and all the ancestors, right from Vyasa, Valmiki to Kalidasa, Bhavabhuti, Magha and Ranganatha and other Telugu writers. She pays her tribute to all her predecessors. So Avataranika, then Balakanda, almost 100 verses with some prose. Of course, every Kanda there will be some prose. Ayodhya Kanda is the short one, 43. Aranya Kanda 73, Kishkinda Kanda is the shortest, only 28 verses with a few prose passages. Sundarakanda, Valmiki's Sundarakanda is Sundaram, you know, in every facet it is Sundara. Take the language, take the similes, take the content, everything it is Sundara. So there are 123 verses, but in spite of being a woman, she is very fond, it seems, of Yuddha. Because Yuddha Kanda she has written in 3 parts. 3 sections are there in Yuddha Kanda, and each section having 121, 93 and 137 verses. So half of a Ramayana is Yuddha Kanda, right? Half of these 742 verses almost becomes the Yuddha Kanda. And she has given a very picturesque description of the Yuddha. Now this Avataranika, first she salutes Ganesha, Vandu, you know, Vigneshwara, Arambhi, Vandu, Vigneshwara. Chandra Khanda Kalapum. So the Kalapa, see, all these words are Sanskrit, okay? And there is Chandra Khanda, the digit of the moon, as Shiva has. Shiva has Chandrasekhara, therefore is known as Chandrasekhara. So Chandra Khanda Kalapu, Jaru Vamana Rupu. Jaru is not Jaru, it is Charu. In the southern languages, Cha, Cha, Ja, yeah, they are interchangeable. So Charu becomes Jaru. It has got nothing to do with Ja. It is Charu. Vamana Rupum. He is little short, dwarfish, okay? Charu Vamana Rupum. Galita Chanchala Karanum, because it Chanchala Karana, elephantine ears, and therefore they are drooping down. Galita Chanchala Karanum. Gamala Varanum. Gamala Varanum is Kamala Varanum. Kamala, not Gamala. Gamla nahi hai. So it is Kamala Varanu. Modaka Ujjvala Bahu, very clear. Mushaka Uttama Vahu, his Vahana is Mushaka. Bhadrebha Vadanu, Ibha is an elephant. Ibha means an elephant. See, Ibha, this word is very uncommon. Even the Sanskrit writers hardly use it, except for calling Ganesha as Ibhanana. You know, Ibha is not much in use, but she is using this word. Bhadra Ibha Vadanu, a very noble elephant head. One who possesses a noble elephant head. Sadbhakta Sadanu, he is as if the abode for the Sadbhaktas. Sanmunistuti Patru, Shaila Sambhava Putru, Uma's Gauri's son. So Shaila Sambhava, she is Shaila Putri. Nanudina Modu, every day he brings in joy. Vidya Prasadum, and gives Vidya as Prasada. Then Barama Dayabhyasum, it is Parama, not Barama. Parama Dayabhyasum, it is Parama, therefore I put it there. Ba is Pa. Parama Daya, he is very compassionate. Karuna Varunalaya, okay? Bhashankusha, that is Bhashankusha. Bha, not Ba. Bhashankusha Ullasu, Nurutara Khyatu Nagopavitu, having the Naga as his Yajnopavita. Loka Vandita Gunavantu, very clear. Nekadantu, having Ekadanta. Natula Herambu, Herambu is his name. Sat Karunavalambu, he is the Avalamba, the substratum for Karuna. Vimala Ravi Koti Teju, Shri Vignaraju, Brathita Vakpraudhi Sevinchi Prastutintu. Brathita is Prathita. So Prathita Vakpraudhi. I hope I have not misspelled any words, the Telugu speakers there. Okay. So this is the Avataranika. She glorifies Ganesha, and thereafter all the great scholars, right from Valmiki, Vyasa till Kalidasa, Magha, Bharavi also. Okay. Now we'll see her poetry, what she writes and how beautifully she writes. How do we know that it is written by her? You know, accidentally in Mumbai University Library, I visited the Rajabai Tower, the great library where lakhs of books are there, and I was going through the stacks, and one small booklet type of thing, it had come out of the rack, you know, So I just wanted to place it in its proper place. But before putting it in the place, I thought, what is it? Let me see. And that was Molla Ramayana. I mean, I just get goosebumps. Otherwise, in the lakhs of books, when I haven't even heard of who is Molla, how would I have found out Molla's Ramayana? And that was published by Vani Vilas Prakashan, Srirangapattanam, in Devanagari. So that was another thing. I can't read Telugu script. It was printed in Devanagari. So this is, Molla wanted me to bring her to light, perhaps, and therefore I just got it very, very accidentally. But how do we know that she has written this? In the colophon, which is called Pushpika, after every sarga, every adhyaya, every kanda, she writes a colophon. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu, that's a colophon, right? So there it is written, Iti Shri, Idi is Iti. Iti Shri Gaurishwara Varaprasada Labdha Guru Jangamarchana Vinoda Nitya Shaivachara Sampanna Suri Jana Vinuta Kavita Chamatkara Kavita Chamatkara Atukuri Kesana Setti Tanaya Molla Namadeya Virachitambaina Shri Ramayana Mahakavyambunandu Balakandamu Sarvavu Nekashvasamo. So this is the first Ashvasa in the Balakanda, written by Molla Namadeya, by a person called Molla, who is Kesana Setti Tanaya, who is the daughter of Atukuri Kesana Setti. She herself is Kavita Chamatkara. She can write very good poetry, very good poetry. She can create wondrous poetry. She has that much confidence. One should not underestimate one's capacities, capabilities, and skills. That's the biggest lesson. Every woman has to get it. Okay? And then she is Guru Jangamarchana Vinoda. She is paying homage to her Guru Jangamarchana, Guru Jangama, and Gaurishwara, that is Shiva, Varaprasada Labdha. She is got by Atukeri Kesana Setti as a prasada of Sri Shaila. Okay? And therefore, this Molla has written a poetry. So, in every kanda, at the end, there is this what is called Pushpika or colophon, through which we come to know that this is written by Molla. Now just see, this is in the Ayodhya Kanda. Jalajaksha Bhakta Vatsala Jalajasana Vinuta Pada Jalajata Sudha Jalarashi Bhavya Mandira Jalajakara Charu Hausa Janaki Natha. See the anuprasa of Ja. The Jakara, Jakara is a soft consonant, by the way. Jakara is a soft consonant. How, the Gita Govindakara Jayadeva writes poetry. Vilasati Taru, what is that? Vasati Grihe Vanamali, something like that, So, very nice alliterations, prasa. Prasa is anuprasa, alliteration. So, Jalajaksha, all these are Sanskritized words. Can you find out anything which is Telugu here? It's all Sanskrit. It's all Sanskrit. So, Jalajaksha, one who has Aksha at Jalaja. Jalaja is lotus. Bhaktavatsala, compassionate to the devotees. Jalajasana Vinutapada. Jalajasana is Brahmaji. His asana is Jalaja, Kamalasana. Kamalasana Brahma. He bows down to Vishnu. Vishnu, Rama is one and the same, right? Jalajasana Vinutapada, Jalajata, lotus born Brahma. Then Sudha Jalarashi Bhavya Mandira. He is like a Jalajakara Charu Hausa. He is like a very beautiful Hausa gliding over the waters. Gliding over the waters. The beautiful swan freely swimming in the Sudha Jalarashi Bhavya Mandira. In his house, which is very palatial, and that house is Sudha Jalarashi, that is the Kshira Sagara, okay, the nectarine ocean. So who, like a beautiful swan, freely swims in the milky ocean, and one who is the Lord of Janaki, Janaki Natha. So there is not a single word which takes you to the Telugu language. This is all Sanskrit. Such a beautiful Sanskritized language she writes in. Okay. Now see the richness of her language again. कंदर्प रूप खंडित कंदर्प विरोधी चाप करुणा द्वीपा वंदित शुभ नामा मुनिसंदोह स्तुत्य भूमा जानकी रामा. कंदर्प is Madana. Kandarpa, by the way, also means, there is another meaning of Kandarpa. In Sanskrit, one word has multiple meanings. Kandarpa also means onion, kanda, pyaz, because it has Kandarpa, very pungent smell, darpa. Okay? Very pungent smell, therefore Kandarpa also means onion. But Kandarpa is Madana, the god of love. So Kandarpa Rupa, he is, Rama Chandra is so handsome, as if he Madanacha Putala. In Marathi we'll say Madanacha Putala. Khandita Kandarpa Virodhi Chapa. Now you have to decipher that. Khandita, खंडन किया है. क्या खंडन किया है? चाप. किसका चाप? कंदर्प विरोधी चाप. कंदर्प इज मदन. कंदर्प का विरोधी कौन है? शिवजी, बिकॉज भस्म किया है तृतीय आंख से, अग्नि रूप से, राइट. सो कंदर, शी इज नॉट यूजिंग शिव और शंकर और एनीथिंग. देर इज अनुप्रास, देर इज अ राइम, यमक, एंड ऑल संस्कृताइज. सो कंदर्प रूप एंड खंडित कंदर्प विरोधी चाप, दैट इज शिव धनुष का भंग जिसने किया है वह करुणा द्वीपा. ही इज एन आइलैंड ऑफ कंपैशन. वंदित शुभ नामा मुनिसंदोह स्तुत्य भूमा. मुनिसंदोह, ऑल द ग्रुप्स ऑफ मुनीज, दे salute him and they praise him. Such Janaki Rama. Okay, so she spares no words in describing Shri Ramachandra. In the same way, she has used very, very uncommon words. Only after reading Molla, I came across these words, and I did not find these words used by any other Sanskrit author till now. These are, for Sugriva, she has used two very, very uncommon words called Inatanaya and Kanja Hitatmaja. Very, very uncommon names. Now these are coined. These are fabricated names. Okay. The thing she knows is that Sugriva happens to be known as the son of sun. He is Surya Putra. Sugriva is regarded as Surya Putra. Now one of the very uncommon names for Surya or the sun is Ina. Inatanaya. Ina, why? Again Nirukta, somebody was mentioning here, yeah, Nirukta, etymology. My favorite, my passion for that. So in Gatau, one who goes, one who is constantly on move, he is called Inna. That is Surya, constantly moving. Inatanaya. I haven't come across this word used for Sugriva anywhere in Valmiki Ramayana. Then Kanja Hitatmaja, the same sense, the son of the sun, she has placed in other word Kanja Hita Atmaja. Atmaja is a son. What is Kanja? Nava Kanja Lochana Kanja Mukhakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam. Kanja is Kamala. Kanja is Kamala. Kam Nama Jalam. Jale Jayate. Jalatva Jayate. Iti Kanjam Nama Kamalam. Okay. So Kanja Hita. Who is the Hitakaraka for Kamala? One who makes the Kamala, the lotus is bloom, is the rays of the sun. So Kanja Hita means sun and his Atmaja. Isn't it very innovative and very imaginative? What poets see, Je na dekhe Ravi, so dekhe Kavi. Isn't it true? So these are the words which we hardly come across. I haven't come across for Sugriva, Kanja Hitatmaja or Inatanaya. But she, so-called, not MA PhD, not MA PhD girl, right? And she, a potter's daughter, writing such beautiful Sanskritized poetry. Now Kanja, so I already explained that. Now in the, one more thing, on the word Naga, she makes a pun on that. and she uses different pratyayas. Naga remains the same. Sanskrit, if you have heard of on the YouTube, if you listen to the Sanskrit Launchpad webinar, I had taken Sanskrit Launchpad webinar. The first lecture is on YouTube. The other three are not, but the first lecture is on YouTube. So I had told there that how Sanskrit can be, a very structured language. You can have Prakriti and Pratyaya, or Prakriti and another pada, two padas, Upasarga and the pada. Like that you can combine so many words. Like I told you just now, Kanja, Kam Nama Jalam. You add Ja to that, it becomes a Kamala. Jalaja, we saw Jalajaksha, Jala, and then you add Ja. You take any word meaning water. Add Ja to that, it means Kamala. Varija, Ambuja, Toyaja, Neeraja, Neeraja. Right? So, all these words. Now just change the name, the pratyaya, instead of Ja. I'm tempted to talk something about Sanskrit. Okay? Sanskrit professor by birth, what can I do? So, instead of Ja, you change the pratyaya to the. The is the giver. One who gives water is cloud. In English, we have only CLOUD, one word. Right? And here you can see all these Sanskrit words, add the to that, Neerada, Payoda, Toyada, Jalada, Varida, Ambuda, so many words. That is the beauty. So she has written in Balakanda, Naga Dharudo, Naga Dhanvudo, Naga Bhediyo, Konta Konta Nato Bodan. She says, Nagadhara, she is praising Nagadhara, Nagadhanva and Nagabhedi. Three people she is praising. Okay? How can I praise you? How can I salute you? That's what she says. Nagadhara is one who holds the mountain. That is Krishna. Govardhana Giridhari. Nagadhara is Krishna. Nagadhanva is Shiva, because his Dhanushya, his bow, which is called Pinaka, and therefore is called Pinaka Pani, Pinaka Hasta. It is as hard as Naga, a mountain. That's why Shiva Dhanushya, break karna, was, and even now we use that. If you are doing some Herculean task, we are very familiar with the name Herculean task. Why not use Shiva Dhanushya instead of that? Why not use Jagannath Ka Rath? That is also Herculean. But we use Herculean task. That is, our slavery also. So Shiva Dhanushya matlab kya hai? बहुत कठिन काम है. यानी शिव धनुष्य पेल्ले. Oh, he has as if lifted the Shiva Dhanushya. It's such a, what you can say, a humongous task, very, very great task. But we say Herculean task, right? So this is now Nagadhanva, that is the name of Shiva. Nagabhid is the name of Indra. And this is very, very Vedic, I tell you. Nagabhid, because in the Vedic Suktas, he is called as Nagabhid or Purandara. Shatru Puranam Darayita iti Sayanacharyaha. Or Purani Darayati Shatrunam iti Purandaraha. Nagandaraha. Nagabhid, Purabhid. These are the names of Indra, the Vedic Indra. And she has used very cleverly, and that causes the Anuprasa as well. This is the poetic beauty what she uses. Now, how she has used Shlesha, pun. Shlesha, one word having two meanings. Now, in the Balakanda, she is describing the Sabha, the Sabha of Dasharath Maharaj. Dasharath Maharaj ki Sabha ka varnan hai. And she says, his Sabha and Indra Sabha are similar. Dasharath Maharaj ki Sabha और Indra की सभा में कोई अंतर नहीं है. And she has used some words which are made applicable to both equally. But there is a slight change in the meaning of that. Okay? So both these sabhas have Kavi, Guru, Buddha, Mitra, Bhogi, Dvija, Dhivara. These are the words which adorn the sabha, the assembly of Dasharath Maharaj and Indra. Now Kavi is another name for planet Shukra. Kavi is Shukracharya. Okay? Kavikratuhu, Kavi Shukracharya, and Kavi is poet. So इंद्र महाराज की सभा में कौन है? शुक्र ग्रह है, और दशरथ महाराज की सभा में कवि पोएट्स है। गुरु इंद्र के सभा में बृहस्पति है, देवों के गुरु है। यहाँ गुरु टीचर्स, आचार्य। बुध, बुध इज मर्क्यूरी। सो ग्रह सब है इंद्र की सभा में, एंड यहाँ बुध मतलब वाइज मैन, बुद्ध्यंती ते जनाः बुधाः, so wise men. Mitra, Mitra is another name for sun, and in the Rigveda there is only one sukta, 359, in the third mandala, Vishwamitra mandala, there is one sukta for Mitra. There are other suktas like Mitra, Varuna and all that, but only for Mitra there is one sukta. Mitra is a solar deity, the sun, and Mitra is friends. So Dasharath ke feudatory king, his friends are also there seated, right? Then Bhogi is Shesha. Bhoga is Phana. So Bhogi is Shesha, and Bhogi also means jo bhog lete hai. So passionate people. So common people's representatives also come in the assembly, right? So Bhogi jan bhi hai wahan pe. Dvija hai. Dvija is Brahmanas, and Dvija also means the birds. Matlab those tribes who worship the birds as totem. So totemistic tribes. For example, if you go to Arunachal Pradesh, some of the tribes over there, they worship the cock, because it's the far eastern Pradesh, and there the sun rises the first in the morning. So cock, and they will have a cock's figure on their headgear as well. So these are such people, I mean common people are also there, right? Then Dhivara, Dhi is Buddhi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat, Dhi is Buddhi, Dhivara, Vara is best, better. So Dhivara is wise people, and Dhivara also means fisherman. The Dhivara episode in Ramayana, right? We know that. So this is how, using the same words and using the pun, Shlesha Alankara, she says that Indra Sabha and Dasharatha Sabha are equal. This is a very beautiful simile she has used, Utpreksha, not simile, metaphor Alankara, Utpreksha Alankara. She is describing sunset in Ayodhya Kanda, 6th verse, and why sun had set in the west. She says, sun got tired walking all alone on the sky road. कोई भी कंपनी नहीं है उसको, कोई उसके साथ नहीं आता. इन गतो वो बेचारा अकेला, एकला चलो रे, है ना? वो अकेला चलता जा रहा है. And then on the sky road from east to west, he was perspiring with sweat. Come on now, he causes the sweat to us, but he is perspiring, so he took a plunge in the western ocean in the evening, because he was so tired and he was sweating, he wanted a shower, and therefore he took a plunge. పగలు ప్రాగ్భాగమున నుండి గగన వింతి జరమ దిక్కున కైగంగా శ్రమముదోల్చి చెమ్మట పట్టిన స్నానంబు చేయు, as if to take bath, he went there. Divakara is sun. And the same sunset, how Kavi Pratibha imagines differently. We common people, we can't even think, but Kavis can think in a different way. Sunset in the Yuddha Kanda, she describes in a different manner. And what is that Yuddha Kanda? The sun god could not tolerate the agony and sorrow when Rama, Lakshmana, his grandsons were overpowered by the Brahmastra of Indrajit. And later on, by Brahmastra of Indrajit, Lakshmana was in swoon, murchit ho gaya. And they all belong to the solar race. Vaivasvata Manu, then Ikshvaku, and then Raghu, Dilipa, Aja, Dasharatha, Rama, right? And therefore sun is their great grandfather. He could not see the agony of his descendants, and therefore he sank in the western ocean. So sunset क्यों हो गया भाई, इसका ये वर्णन वो करती है. One more thing, I love this the most in Molla Ramayana. She has described at one place the rising of the moon, Paurnami ka Chandra, Paurnama Chandra. So the rise of the moon is, how she describes it. Now she is a woman, and like a practical, all women have these things, they experience it. आपने गैस पे, चूल्हे पे, गैस स्टोव पे दूध उबालने के लिए रख दिया है, ओके, एंड यू आर डूइंग समथिंग समथिंग समथिंग, हाँ, हमेशा हो जाता है, दूध उबल के पीछे आ जाता है, एंड देन यू हैव डबल वर्क करना, वो तो होता ही है. बट नाउ जस्ट इमेजिन, दूध उबल उबल के उसकी पूरी मलाई इकट्ठा हो जाती है, पूरी मलाई इकट्ठा हो जाती है, एंड इंस्टेड ऑफ स्विचिंग ऑफ द गैस, कभी कभी आप क्या करते हो, हाथ से तपेली उठाते हो या करते हो, तो वो जो पूरा मलाई का गोला है वो बाहर जाता है. जस्ट इमेजिन नाउ, ये छोटे पैमाने पे है, गैस के चूल्हे पे आप दूध उबाल रहे हैं. जस्ट इमेजिन द मिल्की ओशन कमिंग टू अ बॉयल, मिल्की ओशन कमिंग टू अ बॉयल बाय द चंड रश्मि सूर्य. इसके लिए बॉयल आ गया, उस पर बहुत उभार आ गया, एंड तभी क्या हो गया, वेस्ट से मलयानिल अनिल पवन वो आ गया, और उसने जो मलाई का जो गोला था वो ऐसे उड़ा लिया. वो जो उड़ा के गया, उठ के गया, वो आसमान में पीला पीला चांद हमें दिख रहा है. जब मलाई बहुत दूध उबल उबल के गाढ़ा हो जाता है तो व्हाइट नहीं रहता है, पीला हो जाता है. पौर्णमासी का चंद्र कैसे होता है, व्हाइट नहीं होता है, येलोइश होता है, जैसे रबड़ी है, जैसे बासुंदी है, उबल उबल के. सो ये यहाँ से पवन आ गया और ये उबलते हुए दूध का जो गोला था ऐसे उड़ा दिया, वो वहाँ जाके ठहरा आसमान में. वही तो है पौर्णमी का चंद्र. कितनी अच्छी, मतलब क्या उत्प्रेक्षा है, अतिशयोक्ति तो है उसमें, इट्स हाइपरबोलिक, हाइपरबली है इसमें, लेकिन व्यतिरेक भी है, मतलब उपमान से उपमेय श्रेष्ठ है, ये कहने का मतलब है उसका. तो इतनी प्रतिभा का मुझे बहुत आश्चर्य होता है कभी कभी कि इस महिला के पास इतना काव्य, इतनी सामर्थ्य कैसे आ गई. It's really wonderful thing. So this is a very beautiful thing. then स्वभावोक्ति अलंकार है, मैं मोल में ही नहीं रह जाऊं, और भी दो करने हैं मुझे. किष्किंधा कांड में one can visualize Ram standing near the tall sal tree, pulling the bowstring till his ears and concentrating on the target. 7 ताल वृक्ष उसने एक बाण में छेद कर दिखाए ना सुग्रीव को, जब उन्होंने चुनौती दी वाली के लिए, तभी हाउ वुड ही बिलीव इन राम स्ट्रेंथ. दिखता तो है दुबला पतला, वाली से सामना कैसे करेगा. तो राम डिड दिस टेस्ट, ओके. तो वो उसका स्वभावोक्ति अलंकार, आकर्ण प्रत्यंचा खींच कर उसने वो बाण मारा, ऐसे उसने ये किया है. अभी राम का तो वर्णन है, लेकिन जो सच्चा कवि है वो शत्रु जो है, रावण जो है, उसके भी वर्णन में कोई कमी कसर नहीं रखेगा. Now Ravana is going for battle in the युद्ध कांड 3rd सेक्शन में है, तो उसमें 2nd सेक्शन में है. तो उसमें ये उसने जो एक लिखा है, बहुत बड़ा प्रोज पैसेज है, वो संस्कृत पोएटिक्स में दिस इज कॉल्ड चूर्णिका गद्य शैली. चूर्णिका गद्य शैली बोलते हैं इसको. ऐसे चूर्णिका, मुक्तक, चूर्णक, मुक्तक, वृत्तगंधी और एक है, 4 प्रकार की गद्य शैलियाँ होती है. जैसे बाणभट्ट और दंडी वगैरह जो लेखक हैं संस्कृत के, तो उनकी शैली को बखान करते हैं, तब ये 4 बताते हैं. तो शी हैज़ रिटन अ पैसेज, द पुरोहित ऑफ रावण इज ब्लेसिंग हिम, ओ यू गो टू द फाइट एंड विजयी भव. कोई भी अपने बंदे को विजयी भव का आशीर्वाद देगा. तो जय जय केकसी गर्भ समुद्र संपूर्ण सुधाकरा, केकसी के गर्भरूपी समुद्र के लिए जो सुधाकर है। चंद्रमा को देखते ही मतलब बाढ़ आ जाती है, ज्वार भाटा जो हम कहते हैं, द हाई टाइड कभी आता है? पौर्णिमा के चंद्र को देखकर, है ना। सो केकसी गर्भ समुद्र संपूर्ण सुधाकरा, जय जय मय तनुजा मनोहरा, जय जय, बहुत बड़ा लिखा है, रावणेश्वरा जयी भव दिग्विजयी भव, ऐसे आशीर्वाद दिया है। तो उसका भी उसने बहुत अच्छा गद्य शैली में, दिस इज नॉट अ पोएट्री, ये प्रोज पैसेज है बीच वाला। अभी ऑनर्स भी मोल्ला को बहुत सारे मिले हैं। आंध्र प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट इरेक्टेड हर स्टैचू इन हैदराबाद, and a fictional account of her life story has been written by Inturi Venkateshwara Rao under the title Kumara Molla, published in 1969. And based on this novel, there was a movie. Another writer, this is Shankara Satyanarayana, also wrote a ballad, Pavada Jaise, and that is still being sung in Andhra Pradesh. And this movie was made, Katha Naika Molla, and Vanishi played the leading role of Mulla. And one thing very what you can significantly I noted it is, she is used as a symbol of women's advancement by women's associations. And on one such occasion in 2006, a women's right protest began at her statue in Hyderabad. So she is looked upon as an emblem, a towering emblem of women's liberation. तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि when she wrote all this, she might not have even thought that she would be one day idolized like this, right? But then this is the story of her. Now Chandrabati's Ramayana, because I didn't get much of it and it's in Bangla, I can't read Bangla, but then I have quoted some sites here from which I took it. So Chandrabati's Ramayana is very different. Valmiki wrote a hero's tale, Rama's masculinity and his bravery. Tulasi's Manasa is a devotional poem idolizing Rama. But Chandrabati's Ramayana is a folk narrative from Sita's perspective. It is Sita's story filled with human drama and not a divine mystery at all, because she herself was a victim. She was herself a victim, cheated and jilted by her lover called Jayananda. And Chandrabati thus portrayed Rama also as a suspicious and jealous human being, because she had suffered from the jealousy of one such person, Jayananda. And Jayananda, apparently her biographer, after she passed away, 100 years after that, her biography was written. And in that biography it is written that Jayananda chose a Muslim girl over her and he married her, and therefore she got cheated, right? And then she went and spent most of her time in a temple of Rama built for her by her father. Okay? And after some time he was disillusioned. He came back to her. He knocked at her door. She didn't open the door at all. And then when she opened the door after few hours and so, then she learned that he has drowned himself in the ocean. So that was a pathetic end for her love story. But because she has suffered from that, she wrote it from Sita's perspective, and she writes, she addresses to her friends, Shuno Sakhi Jana. Shuno Sakhi Jana. It is all women writing by a woman and addressed to the women. So the hero worship, no hero worship, not a divine story, but Sita's perspective, describes Mandodari and Sita as a mother and daughter. And there is a story for this, even in the Adbhuta Ramayana, Valmiki writes this story that Ravana used to kill so many rishis, munis, etc. and collect their blood in a pot. And he had told Mandodari that this is a very fatal poison. Those who drink even a drop of that will be killed forever. And Mandodari once, because of his passionate and gallant nature, she got so fed up, she wanted to end her life, and therefore she drank that blood, but instead of dying, she became pregnant. But then Ravana was not around, and therefore afraid of him. This story comes in the Jaina Ramayana as well. She discarded that Garbha. Here it is in the form of an egg, and she discarded that, and one person, a Dhivara called Madhava, he got hold of that egg. He gave it to his wife, and his wife gave it to Janaka's wife and asked her to name her as Sita. So this is the story, and therefore the Mandodari Sita, the mother-daughter duo is described here. Shuno Sakhi Jana. And she says, poor Rama, Rama tomar buddhi hoilo nash. Ram tomar buddhi hoilo nash. So Rama, you have totally lost your mind. You don't have any buddhi to think, So that is how she criticizes Rama. But this is the woman's perspective. Now let us come quickly to the Maharashtra's poems. These are like the folk songs of Maharashtrian ladies, and these are not literate at all in any sense of the term, very unembellished sort of songs. And this is a Paurusheya Vangmaya, by women, for women, and of women. And songs sung in many rituals, folk rituals, agricultural activities, plays, ballads, songs sung while grinding the rains, Jatyavarcha, okay. Then performing various samskaras like naming ceremony, baby shower, marriage, and other events and festive occasions and all that. And their Ramayana is Sita-centric, not Rama-centric. In fact, Valmiki has not described when Kausalya was pregnant, what were her longings. Because Kausalya also got pregnant after quite some time, right? Valmiki is silent about it, but these women, they talk about it because for them, pregnancy and childbirth is of utmost importance, right? And they want to be cared for, they want to share their feelings and all. And caring for, somebody takes care of you, that is the great value for them. So they say, Kausalyela Davhale Icharito Dasharatha. Dasharatha is asking Kausalya, what do you long for? Davhale, Dohale, Dohada. Rama aleti potala puravila manoratha. Rama is coming as your child, so I will fulfill all your wishes. So Dasharatha is asking her. Valmiki Dasharatha doesn't ask, but these women's Ramayana, Dasharatha will ask Kausalya. And then Rama is sleeping in the Palla. Aya bayanno karunaka galabala Rama माझा आत्ताच निजला. अभी अभी सोया है, अभी अभी आंख लगी है, आवाज नहीं करना. When Rama goes to the forest, Rama निघाले वनाला, कौसल्या माता रड, कोमल तुझे चरण, पायी रुतती लखड. Your feet, how delicate they are, Ramacharana. And all the pebbles and stones, they will prick you. How will you go to the forest? A mother's heart, right? Maicha jiva yeda, hath jodito varyala. She prays to the wind god. Hath jodito varyala. Sauda varkha is varsha. Sauda varkha vanat sambhala maya ramala. Please take care of my Rama. I entrust you my heart's booty. Okay. Then again, why it's not moving? More sympathy for Sita. Sita was found by Janaka while plowing the land, we all know. But then it is not Janaka who got her in these folk women's songs. It is Janaka's servant who got it. If you see the picture, Janaka and his wife are plowing here, and his sevaka finds this Sita here. Okay. 12 बैलांचा नांगर चालतो वड्याच्या कडीला, गवसली सीताबाई जनक राजाच्या गड्याला. Not even Janaka, Janaka राजाचा सेवक गडी. नांगराच्या ताशी सापडली सीता, तिच्या जलमाची कुठं आहे कथा. So all sympathy for Sita, Where is the story of her birth and all the joyous moments they spent together, she was found just like that on the road. शिवाचं धनुष्य सीताबाईनं केलं घोडं. This Valmiki doesn't describe, but the women describe. Shivadhanushya, Sita used to play with that like a ghoda, lakadi ki kathi. Okay? Sita used to play with that. In all the folk songs we have this, right? So Ravana ala pudha. In the Swayamvara, in Valmiki Ramayana, Ravana doesn't come. But in all other Ramayanas, Ravana comes for the Swayamvara. Ravana ala pudha, Devala padala koda. Now if Ravana wins that pada, what will happen? Even the gods were worried. And then they say, Rama म्हणून राम नाही सीताबाईच्या मोलाचा. Rama is not equal to Sita. Rama is not at all equal to Sita. हिरकणी सीताबाई, हीरा है. हमारी सीता तो हीरा है. राम हलक्या दिलाचा. He just heard some, this one, Dhobi say something and discarded her. Ram halakya kanacha or halakya dilacha. So Sita is superior to Rama in women's Ramayana. And then when this Shivadhanushya thing comes, and Rama comes to lift that, भले भले लोग आए और गिर गए, उनसे कुछ हुआ नहीं. ये छोटा सा बालक आया है, एकदम कोला कोला दिखने वाला सुकुमार बालक, ये कैसा धनुष उठाएगा? So Sita is bit worried. सीताबाई म्हणे जळो पित्याचा पण, राम दिसतो लहान, कसा उचलील धनुष्य बाण. He looks so small, so young, so delicate. Her heart goes for him. But then she is worried. Oh, why my father put such a difficult पण, जळो पित्याचा पण, आग लागो, जाए चूल्हे में, जाए भाड़ में, क्यों ऐसा डिफिकल्ट प्रण रखा उन्होंने? राम दिसतो लहान, कसा उचलील धनुष्य बाण. See, the love has sprouted and therefore she wants Rama to lift it. But how will he be able to do that? Okay. Now one more thing, I love this very much. Ram and Sita, they are going to the Vanavasa. Of course, Lakshmana is following. And while going, Ram Gangadarichi Payari, Sita Chadati Damayana, Chhatri Dharali Ramarayana. Just imagine, visualize this. Sita is what? Ascending slowly the difficult steps of Ganga Ghat. Okay? The high steep steps are there, and in the hot sun, she is a Rajakanya. She is going like that, so she is all sweating, all perspiring and all that. But Chhatri Dharali Ramarayana, Ramaraya holds an umbrella over her. Just imagine, these ladies are the ones who are working in the open sun in the farms. This is their wishful thinking, isn't it so? This is their wishful thinking, that when they are toiling hard, when they are sweating, and slogging, their husband should care for them, especially when they are pregnant. So, Ramarayana Chhatri Dharli, they are visualizing and wishing her own Rama, her own husband is holding an umbrella over her. This is the wishful thinking. Sita Balatina, Sita has delivered. Where is the bed for her? There is no bed. Rama has already discarded her. The Lavakusha are born in the Valmiki's ashrama. Sita Balatina, tila kashachi ga baz, savale Sitabai, tu gote varuni niz. On the pebbles on the ground you have to sleep. Just remove those pebbles and make a bed for yourself, O Sitabai. Because these are the ladies who are delivering the children in this situation. Gote varuni niz. On the earth, on the soil. एवढा वनवास सीताबाईला एकलीला वाटून दिला बाई घरोघरीच्या नारीला. Why all the women are suffering, whether they are living in the huts, the parched things, kutia or big mahal and all that. Why women suffer a lot? Because they have shared the vanavasa of Sita. Why Sita alone should suffer? एवढा वनवास सीताबाई एकलीला वाटून देला बाई घरोघरीच्या नारीला. And therefore every woman is a vanavasi, every woman suffers a lot. Now Sitabai, this is the picture which we see normally outside the town when construction sites are there. दो पेड़ को एक झूला टांग देते हैं, साड़ी का दुपट्टे का, उसमें बच्चे को सुला देते हैं, राइट. दुरून डोंगर दिसती लाल लाल, सीता ग बाळातीन देल लुगड्याचं पाल. दिस इज कॉल्ड पाल, दीज हाउसेस, उसमें ऊपर से साड़ी नहीं तो चुनरी ऐसा कुछ ढक के रखते हैं, देल लुगड्याचं पाल. सीता बाळातीनं घेतला झाडाचा आसरा झाडाचा, बाभळीला झोका सीताबाईच्या तान्याचा. जो जिस पेड़ में उसने झूला टंगा है वो पेड़ भी कौन सा है? बबूल की, बाभड़ी. दैट इज ऑल्सो थॉर्नी बुश. सो सीता का वनवास इतना है कि एक बड़ा बनियान ट्री भी नहीं है, क्योंकि आउटसाइड द हाउस, आउटसाइड द विलेज, ओपन ग्राउंड में क्या रहेगा? थॉर्नी बुशिस, बुशिस ही रहेंगे, बड़े बड़े अच्छे पेड़ नहीं रहेंगे. तो सीता ग बाळातीनं घेतला आसरा झाडाचा, वो पेड़ के नीचे सोई है. वो पेड़ भी तो कौन सा है? बाभळीचा. बाभळीला झोका सीताबाईच्या तान्याचा. And now the last slide I think of this, the twins of Sita, in the rural belief in Maharashtra at least, I don't know about other places, anything which comes as twin banana आता है. Those who are pregnant they won't eat it, or those who are married they won't eat it, क्योंकि twin हो जाएगा. I don't know if this is there, but when I gave once, when in the Pace University नहीं, कोलंबिया कहीं US में, which university I don't remember now. तो वहाँ मैं गई थी, और वहाँ ये खाली महाराष्ट्रियन विमेन का मैंने बोला था, महाराष्ट्रियन विमेन्स रामायण. So there was a Chinese student and she said even we have this belief that the married ladies avoid eating the twin fruits. एक से एक जुड़ा रहता है ना, वो नहीं खाते हैं. So twins are regarded as ominous, they are not good. Okay, तो सीता माई को twins कैसे ये tolerate करेंगे? नहीं करेंगे. So they have evolved a story for that. What is the story? So the story is like this, that once Sita Mai, she was doing some household work and she wanted to fetch some water. She had given birth to Lava, only one child. Lava was there. So she told Valmiki, ये झूले में पल्ले में रखा है लव को, तो थोड़ा ध्यान रखना, मैं अभी पानी लेके आती हूँ. Anything, I mean this is so very practical and so very common. थोड़ा ख्याल रखना बच्चे का, मैं अभी आती हूँ. And Valmiki was like, ध्यान में बैठे हैं, उनका ध्यान कहाँ है? उनका ध्यान ही नहीं है. सीता माई comes, takes the child, goes in the kitchen, starts cooking. ये जब आंखें खोलते हैं, पल्ले में बच्चा नहीं है. Then he thinks, oh, what Sita will tell when she comes back? She has entrusted the child to me. So जिस आसन पे बैठे हैं, कुशासन पे, वो कुश उन्होंने एक निकाला, a blade of grass, उसमें प्राण प्रतिष्ठा की, उसका बालक बन गया, उसको पल्ले में रखा. And that's why he is known as Kusha. So सीता माई को twins नहीं है. In the minds, in the psyche of these rustic women, twins are not good, no? How can Sita deliver twins? She should not. And therefore there is only one child, and it is Kusha who was brought to life in the blade of grass by Valmiki. And when Sita came to invite him for lunch or dinner or whatever, she sees another child, उसके हाथ में एक बच्चा, यहाँ एक बच्चा. And this is how the story of twin goes. So this is a very interesting story, and this is like a folk belief. This you won't find anywhere written, documented, but there is something called oral history. Along with the documented historiography or documented history, we have a treasure of oral history which percolates down to us through stories, through songs, through such beliefs, right? And therefore And these are the women who store this, who are the preservers of this tradition, oral history. It is always the women folk. घर में क्या चलता है, हमारे यहाँ ये होता है, वो प्रथा है, ये प्रथा है, कौन बताता है आपको? आपकी दादी माँ बताएगी, दादाजी नहीं बताएंगे, है ना? So these are the women who are the upholders of this tradition, and I feel that there is lot much in this to believe in, because these are worldwide things, you know. And therefore, I think, yeah, I'll end with this. If you feel ashamed of your ancestors, your end has come. So don't feel ashamed of your ancestors. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful to Chinmay Mission Kolkata and Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad for this wonderful opportunity. If there are any questions now, any clarifications or anything, I'm here to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really enlightening. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hands.
Good evening, Professor. I'm very lucky to be here today. Actually, I have a long list of questions. How many am I permitted to ask?
Please start with one.
So, I'm a big believer in Shakti. Okay? I'm a big believer in Shakti. Yes, Shakti. So, I have always wondered why is Sita Ma or Janki always taken such a back step or a secondary step in the Ramayana. And today, I think you did mention that Sita is also a form of Shakti, which is not there in common knowledge at all, I feel, because there are so many forms of Shakti that we know of. And it's commonly
Valmiki
practiced.
has written the Ramayana. It is Rama's journey. Ramasya Ayanam. That is journey of Rama. And therefore Sita takes a back seat. If you were to write a Sita Hayana, then Sita Shakti would come in the forefront. And to give her that importance, Valmiki has written Adbhuta Ramayana, where Sita is the one, you know, who kills. Rama has killed only Dashanana Ravana. But there is a Shatanana and Sahasranana Ravana who were killed by Sita and not by Rama. So Sita, for that, he has written another Ramayana.
Okay, I understand that, but when we, in another sphere outside of the Ramayana, when we pray to Shakti in all her forms, why do we not hear of Sita also being a form of Shakti? And additionally, I did some research, not like professional research like you have done. Whenever I looked at artwork of Sita Ma, she was always shown as a lady in distress.
She was always
Shown in any artwork in our history as a lady in distress. I have found only two images.
That is our problem. That is not the history writer's problem. Sita is always shown as an Abala Nari, right? Seated under that Ashoka tree, head down and drooping shoulders and all that. This is the portrayal which our people have done. But I feel Sita is not a victim. She is not Abala. She is Sabala, because she is a single parent, Ekala Palaka, who has raised her twins so very confidently. Now, in today's scenario, if you were to experience and compare that, it is so very difficult for a single mother to raise the children, isn't it so? But then Sita could do that.
Correct.
So that is our problem.
Correct.
Yeah?
Okay, I have just one more question on etymology, if I may. So I wanted to know, like, the word juggernaut in the Western culture, does it come from Puri?
Jagannath.
Jagannath.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
And
very much.
two more questions on etymology. Two more words.
Okay.
One is Durga.
Durga.
Yeah.
Dukkhena gantum shakyate iti. One who is very inaccessible is Durga. You can't approach her so very easily, because first, you know, you are afraid of her Vahana, Simha Vahana or Vyagra Vahana. So she is very difficult to be approached. Dukkhena gantum shakyate iti Durga. She is a multitasker. and therefore she has so many hands. She is Ashtabhuja, she is Dashabhuja, and compare Parvati. This has been one of my favorite topics.
Okay.
Like, a Shakti, the three-way, what you can say, the evolution of a woman from two-handed Parvati or Annapurna, who is, very content as a homemaker. Yeah, she is a homemaker, Annapurna. Annapurne, Sadapurne, Bhikshandehi cha Parvati. What you do, you go, and therefore she is shown with a sruva in her hand, जो हम किचन में कड़छी यूज करते हैं वो. But then when she transgresses that and she wants to do multitasking, she becomes a Durga with multiple hands. And then she alone becomes Kali, who is, very awesome and awful also, not awesome, awful also, so that everybody is afraid of her, even the gods are afraid of her. So, and Kali is like loose hair and black dress and all that. So, these are the evolutions. So, one should stop ourselves from being Kali of that sort and be content with Durga, the multitasking. Today's working women, I compare them with Durga.
So, what I don't understand, I think there's a translation limitation because Durga is such a positive thing, but as soon as you say inaccessible, it sounds very negative.
No,
So-
it's not in that sense. Inaccessible is she is not as accessible, easily accessible as Parvati is.
Okay.
Because Parvati is a homemaker.
Alright.
You go to a CEO of a company, then you will require so many crossings, bureaucrats, this, that. Can you go and see Draupadi Murmu all that way, You can't just go and peep in there, right? Because she has a position.
Right.
Similarly, she has a position, Durga, and therefore inaccessible in that sense, not in the negative sense.
Last word. So in the Rig Veda, there are only 3 gods or goddesses mentioned. One is Varuna, which is the goddess of water or the ocean. So another, I was looking up words of water in Sanskrit. I came across the term Vari. So is it pronounced Vari or Vari?
Vari.
Thank you so much.
And Varuna in the Rigveda, by the way, I have taken Varuna Sukta in the Vedic webinar Suktas. Varuna in the Rigveda is not the deity of water, he is the deity of firmament, Akasha. Vru Vrunoti Achadayati iti Varuna. And therefore he is called as Sarvabhauma Samrat. Indra is a Raja, but Varuna is a Samrat. So Rigvedic Varuna is little bit different connotation. Thereafter he was, like Indian Neptune and all that, and therefore he was likened with the deity or the governor of water bodies. Okay? But it's a later phase. Varuna is basically Achadana. Avarana, we have the word Avarana. Vrunoti Achadayati iti Varuna. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, can we have the mic here, please?
Ma'am, while I thank and laud your efforts in making this Ramayana from the women writers' perspective, I was wondering even before I was humming that whether there could be another perspective that the women who are in the Ramayana, like Sita or Kaikeyi and
Shurpanakha.
yeah, all from their perspective, if we could look at the Ramayana, what would it be, actually?
That would be a different perspective. There is one article of mine which is there freely available on academia.com. Women from the Ramayana. And I have discussed Kaikeyi, Shurpanakha also, and Sita, Ahalya. In fact, Ahalya also has a very great role. Tara. In fact, when we recite this mantra, the shloka, Ahalya, Draupadi, Sita, Tara, Mandodari, Tatha, Panchakamna Smaren Nityam, Mahapatakanashanam. These are recited as the Punya Shloka women, right? Every morning. So, on that I have written an article.
So, like, right from Kaushalya onwards, what was their perspective that as the things went on in the Ramayana, how the narrative progressed, what were their thoughts, and especially also like Lakshman's wife I think she was
Urmila.
called Urmila.
Urmila.
But how she also suffered, you know, her husband was
So
also away from
Valmiki is silent about all this, but Rabindranath Tagore has written on all these ladies, you know, Urmila and others, in which there is an article. Huh. So, and in Marathi also there is lot of literature. There is a very beautiful song, Urmile Trivara Vandana Tula, you know. Her sacrifice is more than Sita's, because Sita is at least with Rama, and
she is
yeah,
without her
Urmila is
husband.
not there, yeah.
And some slokas are there which we can't utter even. When Rama and
basically, I
Sita,
feel-
they are going together, coming back, what Rama said to Sita, I said, that time it was like that, and it is the socio-cultural, the thing which is coming out from that.
And
Isn't it?
basically, you know, Valmiki's intention is not writing about the women of Ramayana. It is Ramayana, Ramasya Ayanam. And that also started with the Samvada in the Balakanda, Narada and Valmiki, you know, Naradam Munipungabam Valmiki, Papracha, Konvasmin Sampratam Loke. Is there any such king, Gunavan, Viryavan, Dhairyavan, etc., etc., etc.? And then Narada told him that such a king is there, and then you write his charitra. So the perspective was different, and this was for, in fact, you know, except for the Uttarakanda and some portion of Balakanda, Rama never comes as a divine human being, divine being. He is portrayed as a human being. He is an Adarsha king, Adarsha Raja. Only in the Uttarakanda there is some glorification and deification, you can see apotheosis, but otherwise he is portrayed as a human king. You know? So the perspective of Valmiki is different, and therefore we can't have answers to all our queries why Shurpanakha's other side is not discussed, why Urmila's suffering is not discussed, why Kausalya's suffering is not discussed, you know, because his intention is different.
And one thing I think that is because of some shortcoming of Valmiki, I'm sorry to say, our this what the who wrote this I just the again the who wrote this drama I forgot the name. I read it so nicely, who said that Rama is a person who felt guilty in the in our MS syllabus it was there. I taught it and now I can't remember the name. The drama. Okay, I can remember. I can remember within 2 minutes. So there, Bhavavati.
Bhavabhuti, Uttara Ramacharita or Mahavira Charita.
In Uttara Ramacharita, Bhavavati just took apology from all these readers, and he portrayed Rama as a person who felt sorry for the Sita, what he did for Sita, isn't it?
So these are later remedies. Even Bhasha has done so many changes,
definitely.
you know. So that is
Thank
different. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I would now request Mr. Neerav Shah to please give a vote of thanks.
To give a vote of thanks after such a powerful women's session, it's a very difficult task. So on this auspicious occasion of Gyan Panchami, we are truly blessed to have Professor Gauri Mahulikar ji here with us and to shower us with the knowledge that we have received through this highly insightful and informative session today. Chinmaya Mission conveys its profuse thanks to Professor Mahulikar ji to take out time on a hectic visit to Kolkata on an international seminar. A round of applause for Professor. It is equally a divine coincidence that on such an auspicious day, Chinmaya Mission and Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad have come together to co-host this unique talk to enlighten the knowledge seekers of our city. Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad has been a fountainhead organization for promotion of Bharatiya Sahitya in the city since 1975. I hope I'm right. And Chinmaya Mission Kolkata extends its heartiest appreciation and thanks to Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad for providing its facilities to facilitate this event to disseminate knowledge. Our special thanks to the Parishad committee, its team, and all its staff for their support and courtesy in making this program a grand success. We look forward to more associations in the future to enrich the community together upon Bharatiya Sanskriti and Darshanas. Would request a round of applause for the Parishad and its team. Last but not the least, special thanks to all the volunteers who have worked behind the scenes over the last 1 month and coming in with their family and friends in huge numbers and sharing with them the essence of our intense study classes, whose strength and support has been growing in huge numbers thanks to the efforts of our selfless mentors who have taken it upon themselves to take forward Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda Ji's vision of lighting the lamp of knowledge in the hearts of maximum individuals to spread maximum happiness. Would request a standing ovation for all our mentors who are keeping us on our toes and engaging us and making us a part of such wonderful programs. Thank you all.